Right, let's see. If I click on this here, aha, that looks vaguely promising. Now then, is this working? I think so. Let's see if there's anything coming out the other end. Don't know. So if anyone can see or hear anything, let me know. Because I don't actually know if it's working or not. Let's see, what there's no data up here, that's worrying. Stream settings. Looking good. Aha. So it's actually working. Let's see if I can get up on my little gadget here. There we go. It says this should be working, but I don't know how to make it work. Start streaming, end streaming. Suggesting the audience stream is lower. I can see you in the corner. Aha, that's good. Marvelous. Right, that seems to be working then. I was trying to get it up on a little screen here as well, but for some reason it doesn't want to work. I don't know why. Just so I can monitor it. Working, but we won't bother. If it was not going to work, it's not going to work, so I won't bother with that. Cool, right. So the idea was, if I could get this to work, that if anybody had any questions to ask about how the website worked, or obviously any of the stuff we've got here for sale at the minute, to do so. And what I need to do in future, if we're going to do any more of these, is get like a little camera that I could, go around and do close-ups with, because the bit of wire I've got on this camera isn't really long enough to wander around with. So that's a project to do for next time, if indeed we do it next time. So if anyone has any questions, fire away while I have a swig of tea. Ah, that's better. What I was just going to do is make sure that actually the website is working, which I need to click on the right window for, which is this window over here. And hopefully if I do something like this, that will appear. Aha, excellent. So that's working on my screen, my end, and hopefully you should see the screen scrolling up and down live off the website. That's a live website feed. That seems to work. Cool. Right, Tim, where am I doing this from? I'm in Cambridge. I was going to type this as well, might as well. There we go. Yeah, this live chat thing seems to work. That's good. Yeah, so I'm in Cambridge at the moment. In between doing everything else, I'm also trying to clear out my parents' house. Get rid of an awful lot of stuff so we can sell the house. So I'm backwards and forwards between here and Leamington Spa, doing jobs, etc., etc. So for the meantime, I'm probably going to be here more than I am at Leamington. So it made sense to make a kind of little viewing area here. I'm actually sitting in the conservatory at the minute, which makes quite a nice little spot to stick some machines in. And also being out in the country with all the current restrictions on travel, etc. People can come here, there's plenty of space, park in the drive, have a look at the machines, have a cup of tea and a chat out in the garden in the sunshine, hopefully, if we get some sunshine, and go on your merry way again. Because I can't see, for the next few months at least, although restrictions are supposed to be easing off, I don't think we're going to be allowed to, cram 200 people in the elephant house at once, like in the good old days, and probably not for another, I don't know, another year maybe, I should think, the way things are looking. So for the meantime, we'll try this. So yes, all these machines are here in Cambridge, or just outside Cambridge, halfway between Cambridge and Newmarket. So if anybody wants to come this weekend is good. I'm here all weekend. Best thing to do is send a message either through the website or through the email, and if you can let me know if you want to come, what times you can come, because obviously I want to try and juggle in as many people as I can, with a bit of a time gap for social distancing and all that palaver. So if you let me know, that I can come anytime between 10 and 2 or whatever, then I would try and book people in at perhaps like an hour's slot, as best as I can juggle everyone around, so that everyone can come and see the stuff, have a play with them, check them out, and we'll go from there. Did I get an email about the retro self-build idea? Yes, I did. I sent you a reply back. That sounds like quite an interesting idea, actually. I would think a simple machine, something like like these shoot type machines. Something that perhaps doesn't have too much mechanism in him. For cost, really, as much as anything. I'm not sure, once you get into an awful lot of cost, I mean, if you think about a Bandit that's got 100 or more working parts in it, the cost of machining all those parts is going to be obviously astronomical, whereas something like these shoot machines or drop case machines, where the coins drop down and tumble into different wind sections, those kind of things, where there's not too many mechanical parts, people can build a case for a nice set of plans. Yeah, I think it'd probably do quite well. It's an interesting idea. I'm just thinking of the what's the machine that Pete made? Oh gosh, what's it called? Let's have a look. I'll put Pete Barson on here. I think I have. Peter Barson, yes, I have, as it happens. There you go. Yeah, like these machines that Pete Barson made, which are copies of British Manufacturing Co. machines. Again, there's basically no mechanism in it. It's just a coin drop. The coin goes in, you fire it around, and the coin returns for a win, or you lose it altogether. So they're quite nice, simple little machines. I guess people could, with that kind of thing, you could come up with your own design for the backflash, which would be interesting. That is a copy of a BMCO machine. And also he made the, oops, back again. Excuse me, got a rough throat this week. The yeah, this one, the pool tote, which had a bit more mechanism in it, but it has two little jackpots in here. So again, you tap the coin from side to side. And if you get in these central ones, I think you see my little arrow on the screen, you probably can't, but if it goes in the win, then it drops the jackpot underneath. It just like a little coin trip. Quite a simple little thing, really. They're quite a nice machine. There we are. Yeah, there's a picture of the mechanism, such as it is. So we probably can't see, but the coin just comes in here and trips this little kind of seesaw arrangement. And then that drops out however many coins are built up in this little window. Oh, let's go back to there. This is what we've got for sale at the minute. Oops. There we go. So now a few people have, do I have a tote machine? Yes, I have got a tote machine in my collection. And I think there's one coming in for sale, funnily enough. Somebody spoke to me a week or two ago about one. I'm not sure if the one that's coming in is a original or a reproduction, one of the ones that Pete Barser made. But the ones Pete made are exact copies. They're done really nicely. So either or really. But I do have an original one in my collection, although it's stashed away at the minute and I can't actually get to it. I don't think. I think it's probably buried like most of my collection is at the moment. I was just going to say, a few people have asked about when they can upgrade and make offers on machines, and the simple answer to that one is as soon as the bank pulls their finger out and opens or finishes open the business account, which is what I've been waiting for weeks. It's just been such a rigmarole trying to get a business account opened. Unless you're an essential supplier to the NHS, they don't seem to want to know at the moment. But we're working on it. I filled in 20 odd questions yesterday. Mostly they seem to want to know about Persian carpets for some bizarre reason, but there we are. That's banks for you. Where are the prices for the machines? Do you mean the prices to buy them now or the prices they've sold for in the past? If I go, for example, let's click up on the Retriever page, we'll say. So here, so this account I'm signed into here is a demo upgraded account, as it were. So once you're able to do that, what you'll see on any page of any machine, as you scroll down, has price history in there with any prices we sold. So for example, here for Retriever, we've got the oldest price we've got at the moment, back in April 14, that we sold one for 2,500, 3,000 a bit later on that year, 2,800. I'm not sure why those two prices aren't showing. There's probably some glitch somewhere. I forgot to type them in or something. But so price history for anything we've got, and that will be added to all the time. I've got prices for anything I've sold over 30 years nearly, going back. An awful lot of it, basically prior to moving to the Elephant House, it's all still on paper, which I've got to sit down and search through everything for all my old auction sheets from those who can remember when we were back in the village hall and down the road, down not far from here in Cambridge, and at the school in Cherryington I used to use, and places like that. So I've still got all those prices, and we'll go through. It'll be interesting to see how prices have changed over 20 years, basically. Once there's enough information, I'll be able to kind of graph it out somehow or other, and you know, see how prices fluctuate, which will be useful, I think. The current prices, well, they're bids only. Evening, Peter. Hope you're well. Yes, so for example, as I say, so this account I'm showing you here on the screen is an upgraded account, as an example. So what you will do, so here we are on the Retriever. So we have a look at that. We have a look at the video, which shows it all the way around. And the description will be filled out a bit more later, tomorrow, hopefully, when I get around to it. More detailed condition reports, whether it's working, all that kind of thing. So let's say I want to buy this Retriever. I might want to scroll down here and look at what they've sold for before. I can see they've made 2,500, 3,000, that kind of money in the past. So perhaps I decide I would be prepared to pay up to 2,500 for it. So here we can't see what anybody else has bid. equally they can't see what you have bid. So this is a sealed bids auction or blind auction, same way as they sell houses in Scotland, and the same way an awful lot of business auctions work as well these days. So what I do, let's say I want to pay, I'm prepared to pay £2,500 for this machine. So I click here, make a firm offer to buy this, pop in 2,500, click the button, and there you go. Now you'll see the button lights up here in green, which means I've got an offer on it. And if I go over into my account, now you won't have some of these options yet until you upgraded, but I have my offers tab here under account offers. So if I go to account and offers and firm offers, there it is. So any machines you've listed on will list down here. You can edit this. So if I decide, oh, now 2,500 is a bit high, maybe I'll drop that down to 2,300, edit it, and it changes there. And when you get back to the main page, you'll see again the button's still lit up in green, but now the price has changed to 2,300. If you decide you don't want to buy it at all, if you go off the idea altogether, or maybe you buy one from somewhere else, or the wife tells you off, or the husband tells you off, whatever, so you want to delete that, all you do, stick 0 in, and click the button, and there you go, it disappears. So you're no longer making an offer on that item. So now the other thing you can do here is, let's say you want to buy a I don't know, what do we want to buy? Let's think of another Brian's machine as run Brian's. We'll say we want to buy a Brian's double decker. So let's find a Brian's double decker. Go up to the search. We'll search by maker. Names beginning with B. Scroll down, find Brian's. And we can either find the machine we want, double decker, or if we scroll down to the bottom of all of the machines that Brian's made, we can click the last link there, which is show all their machines. Click on that one, and that brings up a page with every machine Brian's made, or at least every one I've got around to typing in so far. So here we are, double decker. Now these little boxes here tell us that we have 5 images of double deckers at the moment. On the little gavel is 5, so that's 5 auction prices. And eventually these will fill in. The little camera is for videos. And the last little logo, the little bookmark logo, will be for reference material as and when that gets loaded, which might be like old advertising or instruction booklets, maybe articles in magazines, that kind of thing. So anyway, a double decker. So now we want to buy a double decker, but there's none for sale at the moment. So what we do is we make a provisional offer. So a provisional offer is saying out there to the marketplace that, hey, if anybody's got a double decker, I'm willing to pay X for it. So how do we know what's a fair price for a double decker? Well, if we scroll down again and look at the prices that they're sold for before, we can see what we've got here. 2,000, 1,850, 1,550, 1,700, 940. That was a bit of a cheap one. Maybe that was a rough one or something. So, the going rate is 1,500 to 2,000, say. And I think, okay, yeah, I'll be prepared to pay £1,500. So type in 1,500, make the provisional offer. And again, the button lights up with your offer there in your account. Under offers, that then appears on the provisional tab. Now, provisional offers is exactly what it says. It's a provisional offer. You're not committed to buy that machine. What it's doing is it's saying that there is someone out there in the market looking for a double decker, and they're willing to pay £1,500. And hopefully this will bring stuff onto the market if somebody wants to sell. What will happen is anybody who has let us know via a feature I'll show you in a minute that they have a double decker, they will automatically get notified that somebody out there wants to buy a double decker. So this is kind of the other side of things the wanted side versus the selling side. And as I said in somewhere, I think it was in somewhere in my FAQs I put on the website. If you remember years ago, those of who are old enough, in the good old days of the Exchange and Mart and Loot and all those magazines, there used to be hundreds of wanted adverts as well as for sale adverts. And if we wanted to buy something, we'd stick a wanted advert in. Hopefully the phone would ring. Somebody had one for sale. Now, when the internet came along, first of all, there was lots and lots of different auction sites. There was Yahoo auctions and I can't remember what they were all called now, but there was lots of different ones. Some of those sites did allow you to put wanted adverts on, but over the years, eBay sort of took over, wiped everybody else out. Now it's eBay or nothing. Exchange and Mart, your local paper, Loot, all of those things that used to be full of classified adverts, they've all gone, they've all disappeared. So, okay, it's easy to buy something. You can search on eBay, you can search on things like saleroom.com and so on and so on, and it's not that hard to find something for sale, but there is nowhere left to advertise if you want to buy something. This is the key thing. You have to wait for something to come onto the market. So if you want a double-decker, you want to buy one of these, you've got to wait until one appears on eBay or wait until one appears on saleroom.com or whatever. There's no way you can go and put an advert and say, hey, has anybody out there got a double-decker? Because I want to buy one. So that really is where this site is different and unique in the way that it works. So hopefully it will work. We shall see as we go along. So that will, as I say, this will alert anybody who has put on their into what we call their virtual arcade. So let's go back and have a look at that. Let's go look at some machines. Let's say we collect, oh, I don't know, Allwins, shall we say? So Allwins come under type of machine. Allwin is a wall machine. Look under wall machines and we find Allwin type. There we go. So let's say in my collection I have got, I don't know, let's find an Allwin that we all know and love. Ooh, how about a Wonders Arcade? There we are. So click on that. Now, if I have a Wonders Arcade in my collection, what I can do is click this middle button here, which says Add to Virtual Arcade. Now, and you can click it again to remove it, click it and add it, etc. And these appear under your account, whether you've upgraded or not. You can use this service. These are clear under Collections and Virtual Arcade, and eventually the Virtual Fairground and so on as we build the other bits of the site out. So anything in your Virtual Arcade here is what you will be notified of when somebody wants to buy that machine, if that makes sense. Now, importantly, no one else can see this information, so it's not like anybody can have a snoop at what you've got in your shed or your spare room or wherever it is you keep all your machines. This is totally private to you only. But when somebody comes along and says, I want to buy a Wonders Arcade machine, and I'm prepared to pay £600, let's say, whatever, like we just did with the double decker, anybody who has put down in their virtual arcade that they've got one of these machines will get a notification to say, there's someone out there with money to spend on this, and then you can decide whether or not you're interested in selling yours at that kind of money. If you are, then you go back to the page, click on consign your machine to us, send the consign request, and then we get notified that you want to sell it, and we go from there. So that's how that works. The other option you've got is an add to favorites list. Click on that, and again that will appear in your favorites list under your account. Here, as many as you want to list. And this is kind of the reverse of the virtual arcade. So this your favourites like you do a favourite on eBay, but only when things are for sale. You can add them to your favourites. On here, you can add things to your favourites list when they're not for sale, but you will get notified when they come up for sale. So it's a way, so it's a kind of an alert system, if you like. So you don't have to check into the website every week. If you're looking for 2 or 3 specific items, you add them into your favourites list. You don't need to keep logging into the website. It might be 3 months' time one of these might come up for sale, and you'll get a notification to say, hey, someone's listed a bleacher or beacon machine for sale. So that way you don't miss out without having to keep logging in every week and checking. So that's dealing with the buying side when you want to buy something. And the virtual arcade is if you potentially might be interested in selling something in the future. So I hope that makes sense. I think my tea's probably going cold. Where were we on these comments here? Well done, thank you for trying something new. Look forward to coming to the machines. Yeah, Peter, you can come this weekend if you like. Send me a message and let me know when you are free to come, because I'm trying to jiggle around as many people as I can in sort of hour-long slots or whatever. So anybody who wants to come this weekend, Saturday or Sunday, if you send a message through to me via the site or via the email and say, hey, I can come from 10 till 2 on Sunday or whatever it is, then I will, try and patch together as best I can to fit as many people in as I can without us overlapping, so we're not in trouble with the COVID police and all that nonsense. So just let me know when you want to come and we'll sort it out. Tim says a labour of love. Yes, it has been a labour of love and it will be forever, basically. The aim is to try and list as many machines and as many fairground art and all the other stuff we deal in as there is, and gradually this will just build up over time. More and more information, more and more images, history of makers, the different varieties of machines, gradually pull together more video clips, old advertising, references in books, anything we can find. So we just over time build up this big encyclopedia of stuff. So if you've got a machine, you can learn about it. You can see images, maybe if you've got bits missing, to help you restore it, and so on and so on and so on. Ben says, if you add a favourite, does it notify owners of these items? Does it notify? No. What the favourites on the favourites list does, it notifies you when one of those items comes up for sale. So if you're looking for, I don't know, a Jennings Governor, let's say, add a Jennings Governor to your favourites list. When one comes up for sale, you will get a notification to say there's a Jennings Governor available for sale. And obviously it is just a way to keep your favourite machines that you're interested in together. It may be, in future, might be able to split it down into different lists, perhaps. Obviously this is all very new, and there's lots more ideas to come, which takes a lot more coding. This is taking months to code. Might not look it, but it has. This main page for each machine, there's 3,000 something odd machines there at the moment. Obviously it's all pulled out of a database, but just the actual base page for each machine, if you like, the code to produce that page is 1,500 lines of code long, I think, to pull everything out of the database. Because it's not only images, it's videos, when we got them, it's price history, it's where those prices were achieved, it's whether or not it's in your favourites list, whether or not it's in your virtual arcade, whether or not one's for sale, whether or not you've made provisional offers, firm offers, and all that jazz. All that lot has to come out of the database instantly, hopefully, and all appear on the right page in the right place, and hopefully make sense. Now there's no doubt mistakes in there somewhere, which brings me neatly down to the bottom of the page while I think about it. I keep finding them, so there's bound to be loads more yet. Mistakes on pages, might be the wrong photograph on the wrong page, might be I'll put something down to the wrong maker, just a spelling mistake, whatever. If you spot anything, hit the bottom at the bottom here, report a mistake, fill a little box in, and that just sends me an alert to let me know there's something wrong that I need to put right. And if you've got any more information on anything, if you know something about this machine, just click on the little add some information button, send that through, and then I'll add that on. So again, over time we gradually build up more information, which just benefits everybody. So hopefully people will start sending stuff in, and I need to do a photo upload thing as well sometimes. So if you've got images of machines that we haven't got pictures of at the moment, you can send them in, and that will help add the database up. I mean, if we look, for example, let's do a search by let's do a by maker. Let's go back to Brian's again, that we all know and love. Brian's, and let's go all the way down the bottom, all their machines. You'll see here there's a few machines I haven't got images of yet. Either I probably have got them somewhere, but I haven't got them to hand. So if anybody's got any of those, send them in and I can add them to the site. That'd be very useful. Let me have another gulp of tea. Bit of a throat sweet, I think. Too much yapping the past few days. Right, where are we? I was going to make sure this stream wasn't somewhere I can do a thing to see if it's dropping any frames out of the video, if I can remember how to do it. Instructions, here we are. Drop frame 0, well, that's promising. Excellent. I'm only using 1.6% of my CPU. Marvellous, that sounds all good. Rightio, right, any more questions from anybody who wants to know something, how something works or what something is, either website wise or any of the machines that are behind me? If I, they are all here. If I press one of these buttons, is it this one? Ooh, let me get out of the shot. Well, then, I'm sure you don't want to look at me. There we are. So, the machines here. All the bandits are in there behind the computer, basically. Let me just go back to there we are. And click on the right screen again. This is all very new to me, so bear with me. Let's go back to here. Oh, I clicked the right page. Yes, I have. View all machines. There we are. That's better. Good. Yeah, so what I want to do, if people like this idea and we carry on with doing these videos, is get another little camera. So for instance, if somebody wants a close-up inside of, I don't know, the 11s is over there, while we're doing this, I can take a camera over and open the door and poke it in and show you whatever it is you want to show. So I've only got one camera running at the minute, because I've only got one capture thing in this computer, so I can't actually run two cameras at the moment. Right, where do we get to? Tim, stream's coming over very well. Oh, that's good to know. Thank you. Yes, because I have no way of knowing this end. All the things are flashing away to say it's working, but I don't know if it is or not. Prices and fees, are they fixed? Yes. So the way this works, rather than charging you commission on what you buy and or sell and all sorts of odd little charges like auctions do, this service is if you want to buy and sell, then you need to upgrade to what we call a trader level. That's £10 per month for any month you want to use it. So you don't have to do it continuously. And whilst you're at trader level, you can buy it and sell it as much as you want, and there's no extra charge. So if you sell £10,000 worth of stuff, it costs you £10. That's it. And if you buy £10,000 worth of stuff, it still only costs you £10. Or you can do both, and it still only costs you £10. Simple as that. As I say, you don't need to do it continuously. So if you've got stuff to sell one month, upgrade for that month, sell the stuff, you can downgrade again, and you can use all the rest of the site. You just can't buy or sell whilst you're only at what we call the basic member level. So that's how that works. So it's simple, cheap, way cheaper than any other way to buy and sell, obviously, because I mean, I bought a machine last week. I was telling somebody earlier on the phone, just over £600. By the time I got to the auction to pick it up, it's doing £1,000 with the 30-odd% of buyer's premium, saleroom.com, their 6% VAT, and 50 quid to go and get it. So, you know, a £600 machine, £620 I think it was, turned into just over 1,000 quid, which is just insane. And of course, the person who sold that £620 machine was probably charged 20% in the other direction. So, you know, 60, 120, so they got, so I paid just over £1,000. They probably got in their pocket 500 quid. Now, to me, that is just out of hand these days. It is just pure greed. There's no other way for it. I even said to the auctioneers, you know, how are you justifying these costs now? Because you're literally running a warehouse and a webcam, like I'm sat here now, room full of machines and a webcam. That's it. That's all they're doing. You know, there's no porters, there's no pretty girls behind the reception. You couldn't get a cup of tea, couldn't even have a pee because the toilets were closed because of COVID, blah, blah, blah. So there's one guy sat there, well, actually, there was two guys to be fair, but, you know, I had to go and pick my thing up. And they got 500 quid out of it for doing what? Crazy. So hopefully people will like this idea. It's different. No one else has ever done it before. Hopefully it will be sustainable. That really depends on obviously how many members we get going. But the only way to try it is to try it and see, frankly. So, hey, I'm taking the risk and we'll see what happens. Peter, the conveyor appears to have no wiring. That's correct, yes. As I say, I'm going to, tomorrow, I'll do better descriptions of all the machines. That's the last thing to do. I haven't got around to doing because there's so much else going on this past couple of weeks. So the conveyor is, as you can see in the video, the motor runs. I just plugged it into my little quick test gadget. But there is no, it actually needs wiring. You know, the little tilt switch thing in the bottom needs wiring. Did I take a picture of the mech in that? No, I haven't done yet. So I'll add in a picture of the mech as well. I think if we scroll through somewhere, yeah, there we are, into the video. Oh no, I better not start the video because I don't know what that will do to the stream. So no, I'll go off that idea. It might crash everything more than likely. But yeah, other than that, it's in really nice condition. I was told the motor run, so I just plugged it in to make sure that the motor did run. Although, of course, being electrical, we have to sell it as not running, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, hey, you can see it. Tim, is there a deal for an annual subscription? Pricing seems very fair. No, but we might do something in due course, but it's more likely to go the other way, i.e. it might end up having to be £15 or £20 a month, but you know, £120 a year if you do it continuously, because whether or not I can make the numbers work long term on a tenner, as I say, really depends on just how many people we get using it. And as I say, because you're not tied to doing it continuously every month, people can dip in and out as and when they need. Some people only buy 1 or 2 machines a year. If you think back to the auctions, a lot of the collectors would save up all year, come to the big sale, which was always the November sale, and buy 1 or 2 machines, perhaps sell 1 machine, buy another machine, and you know, see you again next year. So they, you know, those kind of collectors could just you know, pay the upgrade fee for November probably, if you see what I mean, you know, once a year. And there are other people, of course, who are, you know, very active collectors, buying and selling all the time. Dealers, we have a lot of dealers, not so much in machines, but in the fairground art and enamel signs and that other kind of stuff. Once we get that going, yeah, there's quite a few dealers there who are trading all the time, and the film prop houses that we deal with quite a lot as well. So those people will probably subscribe all the time. Other people would dip in and out as and when they feel like it, really. What I might do, I was thinking the other day, I might do, because, you know, at some point the price probably will have to go up, I suspect. I hope not, but we'll see. But perhaps those who take the plunge right at the very start and keep going, I'm thinking about, you know, fixing that for life, as it were. So those of you that are brave enough to, you know, start off with me and you have the faith to try and get this up and running and going, as my thank you to you would be to fix that price for as long as you use it, basically. So there we are. What do I think on that one? Are you planning for an event at the end of the year, COVID permitting? That I don't know yet. It would be nice to think we could do something. I personally suspect, and talking to other people in the ledger industry particularly, who I know a lot of people in, they are all cautious, shall we say. If you've been, I don't know if you've ever been to the Elephant House when we have our big auctions, but they were literally crammed to the point where people were stood out, not just out on the pavement, but across the road to the pavement, the other side of the road. That was how busy they were, packed shoulder to shoulder. And I can't see us being allowed to do that for at least another year, personally. I suspect we will be allowed to do indoor events, but it's going to be, I would imagine, limited per square foot, though I'm sure there'll be some kind of calculation. I know they're experimenting at the moment with, I think they experiment with sort of a few clubs and indoor concerts and theatres and things. Obviously, those kind of venues are easy to determine, because if you've got 1,000 seats of the theatre and it's 50%, it's 500 people. Venues like ours, I would imagine it's going to go on the square footage. So they'll say if you've got 4,000 square foot, you can have 40 people, or whatever the calculation is going to be. And of course, then the problem is, well, how do we determine who can come in and who can't? So I don't know how we'll get around that one. You know, because the people who want to come for the kind of the social aspect of it, which a lot of people used to enjoy coming to the auctions for, didn't necessarily want to buy anything or sell anything, but it was a great way to meet up with people that you only saw once or twice a year, other collectors, and chat about machines and fairground art and all the other stuff we sell. And they really were into that social aspect of it. Now, of course, if we were to have an auction and we're restricted and we could only have 40 people in or whatever, well, you know, it's not fair to the people who really want to buy stuff and sell stuff if people are there just for the social aspect, as it were. But then, you know, why should they be turned away? So it's a difficult one to do. We just have to see what happens, I think, see how the rules go, and go from there. I have got a couple of auctioneers who have very kindly said they'll, you know, come and take up the mantle that Mum left us with. So we shall see. They're quite good auctioneers, so we should be all right, I think. We'll see what happens. Yeah, one of the video on the website. Yes, that was, I think it's 10 years ago now, believe it or not. I don't know where those 10 years went. But I think it is 10 years ago that auction, that video was made. Shocking, really, where the time goes. Oh, my tea's gone cold. Let me put that over there out of the way. Ugh. I live on tea, but not cold tea. There was something else I was going to show people. I can't think what it was. No, it's completely gone. What was I going to show you? Latest sales help. No, I can't remember what it was. It'll no doubt come to you in a bit. Oh, I've got some emails in here. Look, these people who can't log in, perhaps. Let's have a quick look on the email. Bear with me just a moment. That's from YouTube to say we're live. That's useful. This, oh, right. Okay. Yes, I remember. Email from a guy in Atlanta, Georgia. Excellent. There is your logged in. Right, back to where the, hang on a minute, let me go back to the comments over here. Right, Peter, I think you're right about the square footage. We open both arcades next week with restricted numbers. That's good news. Hopefully we'll make some money and you can come and spend it with me. So, yeah. But again, how do you, with an arcade with restricted numbers, who who's going to spend the money and who isn't, unless you charge. If you remember back to the good old days of the penny arcade, John and Clive's arcade on Brighton Pier, which is what got me hooked on machines when I was yay high. So it's all Clive and John's fault. They used to charge, I think it was £1 entry fee, but you got 50 pennies or something at the time, whatever it was, which is an interesting idea. I don't know if you've thought about doing that, charge an entry fee, but give them so many pennies. And that way, at least the people who were there are not just wandering around taking up your valuable square footage and not spending any money. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. Have you got the, are you going to have the Fairies working model you bought? Is that going to be out on site to come and see? Let's see if we can find it. I can't remember who made that. I don't think we actually know who made it, did we? So let's go for the type, working model, electric working model. What was it called? Can't remember. Ah, this one, Electrical and Fairies, that's it. Yeah. Very interesting machine. It's a mutoscope crane cabinet. With a really nice, really charming working model in. Aha, yes, it's in the number 2 arcade at Miniature World, Wroxham. Excellent. So when I get 5 minutes, I'll come up and video it. Now it's up and running, and we'll stick a little video on the website. That's another thing, another feature I've got to develop at some point. To add on to each machine page is going to be a, it's here, but I just haven't programmed it yet. Public displays. So what we'll do, where there is a machine on site somewhere that you can go and see and play with, or whatever, we'll add it in on there. Probably how I'll do that is I'll give, for example, like Peter Williamson, a login somehow or other. I haven't programmed it yet, so that if you've got an arcade or a museum or some other kind of public display, I think there's a few machines here and there in cafes and coffee shops and the like. You can log in and just let us know what machines you've got on site, and obviously change it as you swap things in and out, so people can come and have a see and have a play, and hopefully that oh, there we are, there is a close-up of it. I did take one. Yeah, these little figures went around on a chain drive. I think the little house opened up or something, the mushroom house, I can't remember. It was an interesting thing. Never seen a unique one-off as far as we know. Never seen another one unless anybody else has. But yeah, sweet. Let's go back to here. Let's go back to I guess for sounds. There we are. Somebody was asking me the other day about this transatlantic airways totalizator, this Brooklands. Very interesting conversion. Obviously it's a Brooklands racer, but the this top flash where it says transatlantic airways totalizator and the reels themselves on it are, it's just over here, I can't really move the camera to it easily. I'll take some better photographs of it. But they're, it's properly engraved into, I'm not sure if it's chrome brass or might even be stainless steel actually. So I think it's I imagine it was a proper conversion by BMRs. Bearing in mind, especially being the stainless, because a lot of their vending machines they made a little bit later on were stainless, and then of course they made the famous what we call the bread bin bandit with the conical reels on, out of stainless steel cabinet. So that kind of fits in with their thing of being like an official conversion. I've never seen another one. I don't know if anybody else has. But interesting thing. It needs restoring. I think it's all there as far as I can see. It's all kind of want to work, but doesn't quite. It needs a good just stripping and put back together again, I think, really. Interesting mechanism. Has 2 clocks on it. So that's a nice one for somebody to do. Again, I don't really want to play the video because I'm not sure what will happen, but I did a video with the I did a 360 spin of the mechanism as well, so you could see what it was all about. Interesting thing. So yeah, hopefully that will go to a good home. It's here to sell, whatever it makes, so it'd be nice to see that one restored. Let's go back to here, Contact Machines, latest. There we go. And what else was there of note to talk about? It's the valve somebody asked me about earlier on. Somebody asked if the mech was working, which if I can find a penny, I will try out while we're speaking. Bear with me just a tick while I find some pennies. There we are, there's a few. Whether I can do that at such an angle you can see it, probably not. Look. This is why I need to set up some, if we're going to keep doing these little live stream things, some more cameras at better angles. It is a penny, isn't it? 1 penny, yep. Oh, yes is the answer to that. That's just the weight. So yes, whoever it was who asked me, it works. Oh. Just open it. Just put it like that. It has got its original lock, but with no key for it. So you'll have to have whoever buys it needs to have a key made. But it is there, that's the main thing. Actually, I just put this little weight back inside it so that doesn't get lost. Lump of lead, very good. And yeah, nice machine. And the enamel on this is in really, really good nick. I can't remember if I've seen this one before. I think I might have seen one with a really bad enamel on it. Who's decided to phone me now? Hang on a minute, let me just deal with that. Turn that off. There we go. Sorry about that. What was I saying? Yes, the enamel. Yeah, there's no restorations on the enamel. It's a really nice nick. I think the case could probably have a fresh coat of paint to smarten it up. But yeah, nice little thing. Right, where did I get to? Any other questions we had in? Let's have a look down on the thingy here. No, not at the moment. Good-o. Anybody else want to know anything or see anything? Either about any of the machines or anything else. Or what I could show you is, can I show you? The next thing to do is books. There's hundreds of books here, literally. With the camera, it's probably going to all go out of focus horribly. But there is lots of books on Steam, Fairground, slot machines, automata, mechanical music. Yeah, really good collection. So that's going to be another labour of love, you know, cataloguing that lot. There is, I don't know, 500 or so. And I've had a call from somebody who's got a big collection of circus books and wants to sell. And there's also a big collection of magic books coming in sometime later in the year. Like a big collection, there's about 1,000. So that's going to take some doing. but hey, we like a challenge. Let me go back over to here. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, the wanted section. So the wanted section will obviously populate as soon as we can get the as soon as the business bank account is open, so we can get people upgraded to trader membership, etc. Then as people put their wants in, so these 4 things here at the moment are just sample placeholders as I was building the web page out. But as soon as somebody adds a want, they'll all appear here, so you can keep an eye on there and see what you've got in the shed that you can get some money for. Peter will be able to view the books. Yes, I've got most of them here. There's still a few crates to come, but I have got what have I got here? Let me have a quick look in the on the bookshelf. I'll see if I can. Let me try this at the risk of completely screwing everything up. I will take the camera off the tripod. This will probably go horribly, horribly wrong, but we'll try it and see what happens. If I point that over there, like that, you can probably see all their books in there. So the top shelf, I think the ones on the left are Steam Railway, the ones on the right are toys. The next shelf down is Fairground. There's a lot more Fairground to come yet, that side, and slot machines to the right. Again, there's a lot more slot machine books to sort out. Those 2 shelves are all steam road locos and you know, steam engines, traction engines, showman's engines, all that kind of thing. Down in that bottom corner, that's all automata and mechanical musical boxes, all that sort of jazz. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff there. Let me click that back in the thing. Hopefully I haven't completely screwed that up and the camera's still working. Well, it looks like it is. That's a surprise. Marvellous. Cool, right, so that's a thumbs up from Western saying, oh, thank you very much, Tim. Wish you well. Yes. Yes, good luck with your project. Yeah, keep me posted on that. It's a very interesting idea. And yeah. See what you can come up with. Have a jolly evening. Right, who else have we got? Somebody should tell me if anybody's still watching. Oh, there's 5 people apparently watching. Excellent, okay. Somebody must be interested then, this is good. Yes, equally, anybody who has any bright ideas for the website going forward, then by all means let me know. I've got pages and pages and pages of my own ideas of things to do, improvements to make and so on. But of course half the time you don't know, you know, what I think is a good idea, other people might not like or get or think there's any need for. So it's always good to hear from other people what they think. You know, what might be a useful feature or a better way of doing things that we're already doing or trying to do. So yeah, any ideas on that are more than welcome. Equally, if people think, let me just shut this again, of stuff they want to discuss in, you know, any more of these live stream things, if you think it's a thing that's worth doing regularly, I don't know, once a week, twice a week, every night, whatever. Sod all on telly these days, is there? So we might as well do something. Let me know that too. Otherwise I'll just end up here chatting to myself, which is not a good sign, is it? Especially at my age. Haha, there we are. Now, anything else I need to show people at the moment? Messages, hopefully everybody's got the hang of how the message system works. That was the one I sent through earlier. Offers, sales. Yes, what I could show you here, there won't be anything on here, but the sales thing, once you're once people have upgraded their account, there'll be the whole sales section will come live in your account, so you can track things that are live on the site for sale, or things you need to cogitate over, i.e. decide whether you're going to take the offer or not. Things that are queued, i.e. that will be stuff that we've received but are in processing, still photographing, video and cataloguing, whatever. Stuff you've sold, it's self-explanatory, and stuff that's not sold because you haven't accepted the offer, which will be either stuff you take home again or we try again. How about guest speakers on their collection? Yes, good idea. There is a way, I don't know how you do it because I have not done it before, but to add people into live stream, so you can have like somebody, chat to somebody else live over the internet. Or what I'd like to do eventually, I mean, it's a project I've been looking at for years, is actually make some proper little films on different machines, do one on working models, one on all wings, whatever, and go around and see some people's collections and make them up as proper little films. So that's something to think about in due course. But yes, if you're volunteering, Peter, then we'll come and see you sometime and shoot some video. It'd be nice to do the arcades, actually. That'd be a good thing to do. And see what's in them. A bit about, how you got into it and when and why and all that kind of jazz, as there's not many arcades left now. I think people find that quite interesting, actually. Somewhere I'm trying to think if I had any. I don't know if I ever took any video of my arcade, when I had the big arcade up at Botany Bay and down at Folly Farm, and all the single sites we had. I don't think I ever took any video, but some photographs. I suppose we could talk about that at some point. Yeah, people still talk about the Botany Bay Arcade. That was pretty impressive when it was running, really. I think it's probably the biggest arcade that's been done, really. We had I think it was about 5,000 square foot, if I remember rightly. About 200 machines at its height. Together with all the fairground art and stuff on the walls, and a complete hoopla built up in there. Really nice one, actually, which I wish I hadn't have sold. Lovely artwork on it. And speedway cars and dodgem cars, and I think we had a ghost train cars in there at one time, all sorts of things. So yeah, it'd be interesting. Very welcome anytime. Hear about how my life. Yes. Yeah, life story. That might be quite good. It is. There's a few people I know who've got fascinating life stories, basically. That I've often said to them, these should be down in a documentary. And because once people disappear and they don't get recorded. I remember, I don't know if any of you know, or knew, I should say now he's no longer with us, sadly, bless him. The great Stromboli, Danny Lynch, was a sword swallower, fire eater. He's in the Elephant Man film. Great raconteur. Used to spend hours chatting to him when I used to go up and see him. Him and his wife still have a cup of tea and a chat about this, that, and the other. And I always said to him, we should get this down, bring a camera and film it, or tape record and record it. And I never got around to doing it. And of course, all that memories and history are lost. But he had tales from before the war of the proper old days on the fairground and the shows when there were still shows on the fairgrounds. So yeah, that's a big regret I didn't get around to doing that. That's my own fault. Botany Bay was fantastic. Yeah, it was good fun. Good fun while it lasted. Hard work. I used to come from here in Cambridge sometimes. I'd drive up to Botany Bay in the other side of Manchester. sort the arcade out of there, and then sometimes I'd drive from there all the way down to Folly Farm in Pembrokeshire, believe it or not, which took a good few hours. Less hours than ought to have done when I was using my lovely Lotus Esprit, but anyway, down to Folly Farm, sort that out, and then back home here to Cambridge sometimes, or sometimes to Dave Hooper's over in Leamington Spa, because the arcades were run by Dave and I together. So they were long, long days, but it was good fun. I had a lot of money at the time, so couldn't really grumble. But it was funny, people always used to come to Botany Bay. You know, the collectors would come up on Bank Holiday Monday or you know, Easter or something, when it was absolutely packed, and it would take a lot of money. It used to take you know, £1,000 a day on a good day, and of course they never came on the Tuesdays, on the wet Tuesdays, when we might take £2 or something. But you know, all the lights were on, all the power was on. It was all still costing money, and yeah, but good fun. I'm not really sure how many travelling arcades there are now. Now, obviously, we haven't got John Morley's and we haven't got John Carter's big arcade. There is Kevin has his arcade with Carter's Fair sometimes, doesn't he? He doesn't travel it all the time though. And who else have we got left travelling? I'm not really sure. Obviously nobody at the moment, but you know, in theory, travelling arcades. You know, I'm not sure I can think of any. Which is a shame. Maybe I don't know, maybe people in lockdown have been busy. Somebody might have been busy in their shed building an arcade. We never know, that might come out in the future. Be nice to see another travelling arcade, that's for sure. So true. What? Yeah, the about people coming on busy days. Yeah. Yeah, you must be making a fortune. Yeah, well, yeah, we are today, but yeah, come again tomorrow when we're losing a fortune. But that's the way it goes, isn't it? What was I showing up here? Oh yes, your sales. Yeah. Back to here. Yeah, so books. Yeah, books is the next section to do. That's going to take me a while to do, I think, just because I've got so many of them to do. And really with the books, I mean, it's a great thing, really easy to do in as much as we can just post them out to people. But I really want to get them catalogued first before we sell any of them, I think. Just because then if people buy 2 or 3 books, they can go out in one package, obviously, which obviously saves a lot on postage and packing and all the rest of it. So yeah, I've got expecting to launch at the end of April. I'll have to change that, won't I? Because I don't think that's going to happen by the end of April, is it? Somehow, so that's another little job to do. And then when we come to Fairground Art, that's it. I'm still. You see, the thing with machines and books, they're easy to catalogue the way this site works. You know, so slot machines are categorised either by their manufacturer or by the type of the machine. So it's a machine that's made by Bryans or Mills or Jennings or whatever, or it's an Allwyn or a One-Arm Bandit or a Mutascope or a working model or whatever. You can, any machine ever, you can categorise easily one of those 2 ways, which makes it, the point of doing that is it's easy for people to find via the search. So you search by, go back to coin-op machines would help, wouldn't it? Search by type of the machine, or you search by the maker of the machine, and you can find any machine. Now when it comes to Fairground Art, it's a bit of a head scratcher of how to do that, because we know some artists, but we probably know less, you know, fewer artists than you know, a lot fewer than others. So much fairground art was done by show them themselves, or by you know, artists that just never signed their work. We don't know who they were. So it's hard to categorise fairground art by artist, and also by type. I mean, other than the very basic types, is it scenic, or is it you know, flamboyant, or is it modern airbrush or something like that? But it leaves too big a category, so I need to think of a way to do that. Maybe by the type of thing it's painted on. I mean, as in, you know, if it's small like gag balls and price tickets, or if it's yeah, big rounding boards, or obviously, you know, ride mounts if they're galloper horses or arc bikes or dodging cars. So it needs a bit of thinking about. But there's some stuff to come in to sell, so I need to get onto that. It'll probably be something that we develop as we go along. And I've also had a lot of people asking about, you know, all the other odds and sods we used to sell. Just, you know, interesting stuff. And what am I going to do about that? And the short answer is I don't know, but we might have to have a, you know, just a separate little section of odds, and develop that as we go on, as we get more and more, you know, stuff in. Just see how it goes, see how it develops, I think. But you know, the important thing is to get this up and running properly, which is just waiting on the bank, which is driving me up the wall. If the worst comes to it, I said to them, look, I've got a spare personal account, I'll just have to use that. And so of course then they said, oh no, you're not supposed to use a personal account for business, etc., etc. Well, open the business account then. You've had the application long enough. So I'm working on it. I'm trying not to rant. Right, anybody else have anything to ask about the website, or about anything for sale, or any bright ideas, or anything else you can think of, really? We need to update these figures at the bottom here as well. Because there's more stuff than these now. These figures along the bottom here they were real at the time, but they're static figures, i.e. they're not pulled directly out of the database. So there's now more manufacturers than that, more machines than that, and so on. That's another little job to do when I get round to it. Mr. Treefrog, the Brooklands Racer, does it work? The short answer is no, but it's not far off. Let's go back to it. It's just been stored for an awful long time, so it's kind of stiff, and you know, it needs stripping and putting back together again. Basically, you should be able to see I did a 360 spin of the mechanism. Both clocks are on the mechanism as they should be. I can't see anything obviously missing. I've had a reasonably good look at it, but having said that, I haven't got another one directly to compare it to. I don't own one personally, unfortunately. So hence doing that, you know, in the case, out of the case. And I think, did I actually film the empty case? I can't remember if I did or not. Just quickly scroll through the thing. So people could, you know, try and see if they've got another one, if there's anything missing. So yeah, I don't think it's going to take a lot to get it up and running. It's a nice machine. I was saying earlier, I don't know if you were on earlier, but the I'm pretty sure it's an official conversion, because the sign on the top and the three reels are very precisely made and engraved with the little aircraft symbols. I'll try and take a close-up photograph of it. I don't think it shows terribly well on there, does it? Especially if the photograph doesn't want to work. Why doesn't the photograph want to work? That's interesting. Something else to fix. Okay. So I think it was a BMR official conversion. I've not seen another one. I don't know if anybody else has. Because you know, BMR did a lot of things with stainless with their vending machines. Yeah, interesting thing. Would enamel sign site be best to be advertising in general? Yeah, probably. I mean, we used to sell, you know, pub mirrors and tin signs, as well as enamel signs, show cards. Actually, somebody asked me about putting some show cards up for sale. So yeah, probably will expand it out into all sorts of advertising. Yeah, is the answer to that one. Again, it's a case of how to categorise stuff. With advertising, it's a bit easy because you can do it by brand. So you could do Oxo or Play cigarettes or Cadbury's or whatever, and then Cadbury's enamel signs, Cadbury's packaging, Cadbury's mirrors, and so on and so forth. So that fits in neatly with this way of doing things. I spelled official with 2 C's. I've just noticed there. That wasn't very clever of me, was it? I better change that. Missed the beginning. The subscription, is it going to have a minimum term? No, it's not. So the way the what we call trader membership or the subscription will work is it's £10 per month, and that's not a calendar month. It will be from 30 days from whatever day you pay it, and just you come and go as and when you like, basically. So if you want to buy or sell, then you pay the £10 a month, but that is all you pay. There's no commission on anything you sell or any other charges, and there's no buyer's premium or any other charges on anything you buy. So if you buy and sell £20,000 worth of stuff in that 1 month period, it will cost you £10. That's it. You can come and go as and when you need to, really. So I would say earlier on, some people will probably, those who collect continuously will probably just keep it running. And others, like we know, from the auctions, some used to come really only to the November, the big sale once a year. They save up all year and come and buy another machine for their collection, and say, see you again next November. So those kind of collectors would just pay their £10 when they've saved up to buy another machine, I suspect. So yeah, easy in, easy out, as and when you need it. As everything should be, really. I was just going to change this spelling mistake while I notice it. So carry on asking away any questions while I just go into here and click on that there and that there and find this machine, edit that, Transatlantic Airways, nope, I've gone to the wrong page. Don't know how my own website works, hang on a minute. 2078 is what I want. So if I go to here and I go to the end there and I go, bear with me just a tick while I just change the spelling mistake I've just spotted. Like that. Click that. And if I update this page now, by the magic of the wonderful internet, there we are. Official now only has 1 C in it. That's a bit better. Marvellous. Right, where are we? That's good, Steve. I guess if buying, the sale completion date would need to be met to ensure potential buyer can bid in the paid period. So not extended. We'll put off buyers. If buying, the sale completion date would need to be met to ensure potential buyer can bid in the paid period. So not extended. Oh, right, I see what you mean. Yes, so in other words, what you're saying is, if you paid your subscription to the 29th of May and an item finished on the 30th of May, then you'd need to go into another month. Yeah, that's always going to happen, isn't it? Because this one batch to start it off will all finish on the same date, likely because of the delays in getting the business account opened. I'll probably extend this anyway just to give everyone a chance to view, so I might add on a week or two. But once we're running properly, the idea generally is if you were coming to view this weekend to look at some machines. You perhaps might want to bring something with you you wanted to sell, and then that would be photographed in the week and added to the website as when I got around to it. So there'll be a continuously rolling upload of machines. It won't just be here's 50 machines, they end on this date or this month or whatever, and next month here's 100 machines, they end at the end of this month. It will be continuously rolling. As soon as the stuff comes in and as soon as I can get it uploaded, it will be uploaded. There's been an awful lot of delays getting this up and running just because of the nature of the thing, of the beast. It's a hugely complicated website, as anybody who codes will appreciate. The whole thing's been coded from scratch. It's not software you can just go and buy off the shelf and upload it. It's all had to be designed. I know what I want to do with it. To try and make something very complicated very simple is a challenge. Signs could be done by type, e.g. tobacco, confectionery. Yeah, this is it. Yeah, there's ways to categorize advertising stuff down. So and it's a thing a lot of people like. There's a lot of crossover with all these things. The same in America. I mean, a lot of the American auctions you'll see have a lot of advertising in, and slots and barbershop stuff's big over there, and the mechanical music, etc., all kind of together. And most of us have a kind of crossover into other things. I collect fairground stuff, as you know. I collect ice cream advertising stuff. I collect too many bloody things, to be honest, but there we are. Right, what I mean is someone might see an item for sale with a date listed, subscribe, and delays for whatever reason cause the date to be extended, and they have to extend subscription. Oh yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, if I or we, if the website extended in that way, then I would extend everybody's subscription as well. So this is the reason why, aside from the fact that the bank trying to get a business account open at the moment is a rigmarole. Why? I mean, a few people said, "Oh well, I'll just pay you by PayPal, or I'll stick with a check in the post, or whatever." I said, "No, let's wait until we're up and running properly. All these machines are videoed, everything is ready to go, tested as best as I can test it before I take anybody's money." So, I don't have to say, "Oh no, hang on everybody, sorry, we need to stop for a week because I've got to reprogram something," which just gets in a muddle. So, hopefully, I'll hear from the bank tomorrow that the account's open. If it's not open, then I've got a contingency. I've got a spare bank account, and we'll just have to use that for the meantime. That's all. So we can get up and running one way or another on Monday at the latest. I think it was going to be the deadline. I'm going to have to give the bank a deadline, I think. So the other way around. So yes, is your answer to that. If I have to suspend or extend the end date of sales, then everybody's subscription would automatically be extended to compensate for it. Hopefully that makes sense. Also thoughts or expectations. Oops, I clicked the wrong button. Might have a start price on listings, which helps people know where they stand. Yes, start prices is an interesting idea. You see, what you'll do, what you won't see at the minute. Let me go back to the for sales page, because so this page that I'm bringing up is my kind of test logging page. So this test account is upgraded to trader status, if you like. So for example, if we look at a what should we pick on? Something we've sold a few of. The Baramat, for example. We click on the Baramat. Baramat for sale, make your offer, etc. If you scroll down, then you get the prices we've sold them for before. So here, 160, 90, and 170. 91 was probably a bit rough, so we click on there, we have a look. And yeah, we can see the bottom of the case is pretty scruffy. That's why that one was a bit cheaper. So that gives people an idea of the the kind of price they should make. And what I intended to do, something is on my list to program, is some kind of graph or chart or average price or whatever. It's not an easy thing to do in as much as simply adding the prices up and dividing by 3 in this example, because of course, as we can see, that one in particular is pretty rough, whereas these other two, I imagine, are, that one looks, you know, it's not perfect, but it's not too bad, and that one is in the Formica case, so it's not quite so nice, but you know, there's clearly those two are a more realistic price. The one we got selling is quite nice, actually. It's not a bad machine at all. So I could, you know, up here do something that, you know, these machines generally sell for around 150 to 200 pounds or something. You need to bear in mind that all this stuff has to be auto-generated out of the database. Otherwise, I've got to sit there and do it all, which just adds to the delay and everything. So, but it's, yeah. At the moment, when you look down here, I think for people who haven't upgraded yet, which is everybody at the moment, where it says pricing, I think it just says we have 3 results, but it doesn't give you the details. So it's one of the perks of paying your £10, is you get all the price details. And there'll be a lot more. I was saying earlier on, I've got the prices of everything I sold back, going back 30 years nearly, when I first started doing auctions. And I've got dozens, probably hundreds of other auction catalogues over the years. Either auctions I've been to or just catalogues I've picked up, you know, the old Sotheby's catalogues going back into the 70s. And then, you know, that information going back that far is not relevant, obviously, to today's selling prices, but it's interesting over time. It's interesting how prices compare. Well, when you look back sometimes at old prices, you see that, you know, there might be a time when Bear & Mats were making as much as Jennings Governors or whatever, and over time, of course, we've those prices have drifted compared to each other, which is really interesting. So once we get all this data, we can do all sorts of interesting things with it, charting it out, and seeing how prices have changed over the years. As I was saying earlier, this is all, you know, as it's all just about encouraging, hopefully, all the collectors to pool all the knowledge we've got between us. Photographs we might have got laying around in shoe boxes and all the rest of it. There's lots of machines I haven't got photographs of yet on the website. Information, people might know something about a particular machine that's interesting. They might have got a machine in their collection that's a bit different from somebody else's. You know, they've got a quirky Bear & Mat that's got A's on it instead of B's or something. Well, that'd be interesting to see. So send us in a picture and we'll add it on, and so on and so forth. Let me go back to here. The Spock thing I haven't actually seen. I haven't looked at that. I've seen it advertised on the telly on the rare occasions I watch the telly, but I haven't actually had a look at the. Is it a phone? Is it a phone thing or an actual website? I don't even know that. Future sales, people have to accept offers. What happens if they keep rejecting? Sure, you have a risk of people in machines blocking the system with unreasonable expectations. Yeah. The answer to that about people blocking the system is something I've thought about and haven't yet resolved. I think we're going to have to see how it goes is the answer to that. You know, just as the auctions of old, if you think sometimes it happens relatively often, funny enough, you might have let's pick a machine of Brian's 11s in one auction one month, and it just didn't sell. Not because it was reserved too high, just because that month nobody wanted to buy Brian's 11s. Let's say it had a £500 reserve on it, didn't sell. The next month you put it in again, and it might make £600 because that month somebody wants to buy it. So it wasn't because the reserve was too high, it's just because at that particular time there was nobody in the market looking to buy one. So the same is likely to happen here. I mean, at the moment we've got these 40 machines for sale. I mean, it just so happens we've got 4 Arcadians and 3 Duchesses. Also spelled Duchess with 1 S there, I've just noticed as well. That's something else to change. You know, if there's not 4 customers looking for an Arcadian at the moment, they're probably not all going to sell. I mean, these actually will all sell, because none of these have got to go, because the guy's moved house and everything has to sell. If they make a fiver, they make a fiver. But you know, let's imagine this is all different people's stuff. So I suspect what I will do is I'll probably have to play it by ear and use my judgment, to be honest. You know, if people, you know, if I don't know, let's pick an arcade. You know, if offers are coming in at what they normally sell for, sort of 150, 250 pounds, depending on condition, and the seller is consistently just refusing to accept the offer, then they'll just have to take it away. I'm not wasting my time and everybody else's time with it. And that'd be the same with the auctions, really. You know, in the auctions, I never accepted anything with what I considered to be an unrealistic reserve, and that's why we had such a high sale rate, higher than any other sale that I know of. We'd almost always sell pretty much everything. So you can't always sell everything, because sometimes just nobody wants that particular machine. But, you know, I would never accept a Jennings Governor with a £2,000 reserve on it, because I know it wasn't going to sell. So they had to be realistic. And that was why we had a good following. I think that people knew if they, you know, if they come to the Elephant House, the stuff was there to sell. It was all buyable. It wasn't just there to look pretty and get people in, like certain auctions I could mention. It was there to sell. It wouldn't be there if I had a daft reserve on it, because it wasted my time. Because, as you know, I did all the work. I put it in, I photographed it, I did all that. I'd never charged any unsold fees or minimum fees or entry fees or anything. So if it didn't sell, I literally didn't earn any money. I was wasting my time and my effort. So it was in my interest to make sure everything sold. Peter, good night. Yes, we'll yeah, do it again sometime. I don't know, weekend maybe. See what people think. So yeah, have a good evening. Can you not ask people expected minimum price? The point of this was to do it without reserve, because often when people are selling several things, what we used to find with the auction sometimes is they'd put 3 machines in, let's say. Let's make it simple, £500 each reserve. The first one might get to £400 and not sell. The second one make £500. The third one makes £600. So over those 3 machines, they would have got the £1,500 they wanted, but the first one didn't sell. And then, you know, they come to me afterwards, oh, well, I would have took £400 for that. Well, why did you put a £500 reserve on it then? So here, if you imagine you put your 3 machines on, you don't need to set a reserve. You wait and see what the bids come in. If those bids come in at £400, £500 and £600, you know you've got your total £1,500 you wanted, so you can let all 3 machines go. So this is the different way of doing things. It is, you know, it's going to take people a bit of getting used to, because it's just a different way of doing things. But it will be, I think, a real advantage for people selling a lot of items at once. I mean, if you take these 40 machines here, we can imagine they're all, you know, if it's you selling them all at once, and let's say, I haven't even added up what these might make, but let's say 40 machines at, I don't know, an average, what do we think? Let me just give a few nice bits. Let's say they're £500 a machine, so it's 20 grand there. So if you were selling that lot and you bring them to me and say, look, Steve, I want to get £20,000 for this lot, in an auction generally, then I would have advised you, you know, reserves on each one. But there's that risk that some might not sell. You don't take that risk here, because you get the offers in, and then you can see for yourself, add it all up, and you can say, oh yeah, I've got offers totaling £21,000, even though I've perhaps only got, I don't know, let's say a £1,500 offer on the Retriever, for example, which you might think was a bit cheap. You know, do I really want to sell it that cheap? But then again, you might have a £1,000 offer on the What's My Line, and you think, well, that's a lot of money for one of those, but the 2 average out. So hopefully it'll work. it's a different way of doing things. This is the point, really. And you know, until we try it, we don't know if it's going to work. I think it'll work. Everyone I've spoken to, once they get the concept, seem to like the idea. And the proof is going to be in the pudding, isn't it? Just to see what happens. It'll be interesting to see what happens with this first lot. I say with all these all sell whatever the highest offer is. So there is no, not that there's any reserve anyway, but there's no, you know, the guy's not taking them, any of them back home again. They're here to go, you know. So if the retriever gets a highest offer of 500 quid, it goes for 500 quid. Simple as that. So pay attention, everybody, on this lot. Let's have a look. Is anybody still here? Oh, there's still 5 people watching, apparently. Is that right? I don't really know how this thing works, but yeah. If it's people are still here, then I'll stay here chatting away till everybody gets bored. Even though it's giving me a hoarse throat. How to best arrange proper at the weekend. Yes, what I've said to people is if you can send me an email or a message by the website, one or the other. Now, if you let me know when you can come with as wide a gap as you can. So let's say you say, oh, I can come any time between 10 and 2 on Saturday and 3 and 5 on Sunday, or whatever the case may be. Then I'll try and jiggle it around to fit everybody in as best as I possibly can. To you know, obviously we don't want too many people at once. Don't want to, the neighbours ringing up the COVID police, etc. But hopefully I can get everybody in then on, you know, a good sort of hour slot a person with a bit of luck. So yeah, drop me an email or a message on the website and just say which day you want to come, or if you're available both days, great, and what times roughly you can get here, and I will get back to you and fix that in. And yeah, you can have a look at the machines, have a cup of tea out in the sunshine hopefully, and a chin wag and put the world to rights. And yeah, if you've got any machines you want to bring to sell, to add on, then stick them in the van and bring with you. What was I going to look at? Like the videos, I think. Yeah. Well, the videos was an idea that because obviously I had no idea when or if all these restrictions are going to be lifted, to give people a really good view. It's all very well taking photographs, but there's only so many photographs you can take, and there's always an angle you can't see or whatever. So I thought, well, I got this turntable thing I bought, which will take 1/4 of a ton, so you can stick a bally on it, which is great. Spin it around 360 degrees, the same with the mech, and show it working where they work. There's a couple that need a bit of TLC. I mean, things like the clock you'll see from the video. The clock, the hands are loose. I think you can see the mechanism spinning, but the hands aren't going around. They need tightening up. The conveyor needs wiring, but the motor runs. So photograph that, and so on and so on. So it gives people hopefully a really good idea. And obviously, I was trying to judge to get the videos long enough so you could freeze frame them at any point and get a proper angle, especially the mechs. So by turning it, you know, if you're trying to see into the mechanism to see if there's certain bits there, or obviously in the future all these videos will be archived and stay there. So you know, if anybody's trying to restore a machine in the future, they can pause the video at any angle and see, oh yeah, I've got a spring missing there, or the nuts come undone or something. So again, over time all this will build up and provide a really good long-term resource for collectors, hopefully. But it was, yeah, trying to get the videos long enough, but not too long, so they're just boring. So 2 minutes seems to work quite well. I found that jolly little tune to go with it, which is a nice little tune to cut things to. Although sitting there listening to it for 2 days, cutting all the videos was, I think that tune is forever ingrained in my head. So I might have to find some new tunes next time I do another batch of videos. What I want to do, you missed the start of this. I say, in future, if we do more live streams, if people like the idea, is rig up another little camera that if people want a specific close-up of something, you know, they can ask me on here. So, can you just show me the, you know, the handle on that baromet or the dial on the cricketers or whatever it is, and I can take another little camera over there and just show it on this stream to people if they need a bit more detail on something. So that'll be useful for people, I think. I was going to look at the yeah, that's it. That is working. Good, good, good. Obviously, when we get to do things like signs of books, just photograph those, which is a lot quicker than making little videos. But I think they're very useful. Any more for any more? What's the time? Oh gosh, it's nearly 10 to 10. I think we'll call it a day at 10 o'clock, and if anybody's got anything else to say or any questions to ask, need to know anything, see anything, any bright ideas or things I've done wrong. What else I saw some spelling mistakes. Oh yeah, on those duchesses. Do that while I see it. Yeah, let's have a look down here. Duchess. Just correct that spelling. Was 2 spelling mistakes I've just spotted while I spot them. Duchess, Duchess. It's the trouble of doing things quickly when you're half asleep. If I go here, then I'll refresh that page. Duchess with 2 S's. There we are. That's a bit better. Excellent. Thanks to the views. Yep, great. Yep, drop me an email and I'll sort that out. I'll try and sort out a bit of a deadline, I think, and if people can let me know by Friday evening, because obviously people need to make their own, you know, arrangement for the weekend as well. So, yeah, I'll let you know as soon as I can. But I'll probably put a, you know, a deadline of, I don't know, if anybody wants to come Saturday, they're going to have to let me know by, I don't know, 5 o'clock Friday or something, and the same Saturday for Sunday. So again, it's trying to, you know, do the best we can for everybody. People's plans change, and equally people need to know what they're doing. So we'll try that. Hopefully in a few weeks' time we won't need to worry about it quite so much, and people can just come, you know, I can just say, well, I'm here from 10 till 5, come whenever you like, kind of thing. Right. I'm just looking to see if there are more spelling mistakes. Oh, I was going to add, I'm going to add to the description tomorrow as well. I don't know if you joined just while I was saying about that, because a lot of the descriptions are very short. They're not meant to be, but I just haven't got around to doing it yet. So that's one of tomorrow's jobs, is to add in, you know, a bit more condition description about things, whether they're working or not, what coin they're on, whether they've got keys, all that sort of thing. And just odd things like the retriever needs a cash box, and was there something that didn't have a back door or a back? I think something hasn't got a back on the cabinet somewhere along the line. Can't remember what it was. Oh yeah, the matrimonial bureau hasn't got a back on the cabinet. Bit of plywood. Yeah, odd things like that. Oh, and the I spotted that the which was it? Or the Have a Go All win. Which I didn't spot when I picked it up. I only spotted when I did the inside of the video. No, when I was playing it, and I think I got a win and went to pay out, and it hasn't actually got the little payout tube bit. So it needs one of those. So I'll make a note of that. It does work. That's interesting. I can play a video inside another video. That's useful to know. Okay. Right, how are we doing? Anybody else? There's still 3 people watching, apparently. Oh, 4 people watching. Someone else has joined us. Excellent. There must, somewhere here, it must tell me. It's the first time I've ever done this. I don't really know how it works, but somewhere it probably tells me who is watching, I'm guessing. Anybody knows how that works? Tell me, what's this? Participants? No, that's not that. It says people are watching, but I don't actually know if anybody is. Anyway, I'll give it till 10 o'clock, and if nobody says anything, I will end it at 10 o'clock. Microphone wire is giving me jib. I was going to have a look at the Terry's fruit pastel somebody asked me about. Yeah, there's no mechanism in that. It's just a cabinet, which I think you can see from the inside. I'll scroll through the video somewhere along the line. Anyway, so I'll update the description on that. The button for on the commercial, yeah, that appears to be somebody asked me that earlier on, a sort of a false skill stop. It doesn't actually do anything, although it's nicely made. You know, you can plunge it up and down. Let's see if we can see it in the. Did I take an interior of the cabinet? I don't think I did. I have to take one. I just. Yes, so it just. What have I done? Where is it? Where's the camera set up to? There. Let me just see if I can. Bear with me a minute. I'll see if I can prop it up on something. Let's borrow an all-win. If I put that on there. Does that show time lag on these things? Yeah, just about. Yeah, so it goes down the side here. It does plunge up and down, but doesn't actually connect to anything. I think it's just a fake skill stop like they did on some of the bandits to, you know, put the authorities off that it was a skill machine. But yeah, this is another one. It just about works. It's all there as far as I can see, but it's, you know, just sluggish. Been in storage for a while, and it seemed to have a bit of a problem wanting to kick off sometimes. There's some pennies somewhere. What do I do with them? Oh. Where's the penny gone? It's stuck somewhere. Let's try another one. It's not. Stuck in. It will go sometimes and not others, and it was a good sort out. I think it's something. If I spent 10 minutes, well, I can no doubt get it going, but we are. It is what it is. Right. Thanks. Good night. Good night to you as well. Have a good one. So another 4 minutes if anybody's got anything they need to ask or want to say. If not, I will sign off at 10 o'clock. That'll be 2 hours, which I think is a good enough time for chit-chatting. Somewhere here, it must tell us how long we've been going. Oh yeah, down here, that's right. Marvellous. So I'm not actually sure if anyone's still watching. It tells me here there's 4 people still watching, but I'm not sure if anybody is. So, anybody wants to say anything, now is your chance. Otherwise, I will sign off. So just to reiterate, if anybody wants to come this weekend and have a look at these machines, then send an email or send a message via the website. Just let me know what time you'd like to come. Try and give me a wide time as you can, because lots of people want to come, so I need to try and stagger in to try and fit everybody as best we can. A bit of a jigsaw puzzle. So, you know, if you can say, oh yeah, I can come anytime Saturday morning or anytime Sunday afternoon or something like that, then I'll fit that around with everybody else, because some people have work shifts, etc., that they have to, you know, or kids to run about and so on and so forth. So I just want to try and get as many people in as we can in the time we've got available. Next week, we can probably do some weekdays next week as well. I'm around most of the week, but I've got a few jobs to do, a bit of running around to do. A little TV job on, I think, possibly, to sort out. So now that's all back in production again. So just let me know. I have a feeling this viewer count thing is probably lagging slightly. It tells me there's 4 people still viewing, but I don't know where they are, because I'm sure there's a thing here somewhere to tell me, and I can't see it. Oops, let me just, so we will count down, and we'll probably do this again. People, you know, seem to be quite well received. So I think we'll do another one. I'll see you at the weekend, depending on how many people come and how busy I am and how knackered I am. We'll perhaps do another one on Saturday evening or Sunday evening, or both. But obviously I'll put a message up on the website, and there'll be you know, another announcement on the YouTube channel. So if you haven't subscribed, make sure you do so. And thank you all, and good night. Let me find the end button. Here we are. That's it. Bye bye.